Facebook censors and suspends me again. More malicious media monopoly, megalomaniacal malfeasance, and a case study of a PC SJW totalitarian I was suspended from Facebook for 30 days or more for this right here. Sorry that I forgot the question mark, but anyway, quote, what's wrong with tranny? Supposed to be a question. My trans friends say tranny, unquote.
So what? So what?
Yep, apparently that's offensive right there. I say 30 days or more because sometimes they suspend me for longer than they say they will. Has this happened to any of you? Leave me a comment.
I've made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment, and I don't expect to be forgiven.
You may be wondering, what was the context? Well, it was my first comment in response to this post right here from a person named Mackenzie, quote, hey, can we agree that anybody who uses the word tranny probably shouldn't be allowed to be in here? That'd be pretty cool, unquote. Now, if I must point it out, notice that she used the word tranny. Sure, she didn't use it as an insult, but neither did I. But one of us has been suspended and the other one has not. Again, my response to this, quote, what's wrong with tranny? My trans friends say tranny, unquote. Granted, I forgot to put the question mark there, but I think you get the idea. And that's what I was suspended for 30 days for. I keep saying it, I keep proving it. Media communication monopolies like Google, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, etc. have a regressive left bias, or at least they act along such lines to appease certain people, certain squeaky wheels that are an insignificantly small percentage of people who make enough noise to fool society into thinking they are a significant percentage of people, and we must demand that Uncle Sam break these media monopolies up to restore freedom of speech. Look, we live in an era where a huge chunk of our communication is monopolized by just a few companies. Companies that control what we say, write, read, watch, and so on. And by the way, in the video description is a link to a video by Analytical Chick on this subject. I highly recommend it. Not that I ever would, but if I reported her use of the word tranny, would she be suspended? I don't think so. I mean, she's Muslim and she's a woman. And as I've demonstrated, Facebook does have a bias. They have a bias along the quote-unquote progressive stack, the victimhood hierarchy. They take this, they flip it upside down, and that seems to be how they make their decisions. Now let's pretend I wanted to not offend. How could I avoid it, when apparently it's okay to write stuff like motherfucking cocksucking two-bowl bitch, dick-licking tit-fucking bastard on Facebook? But, and somehow you're just supposed to know this, such innocuous words like tranny, words that no reasonable person would deem to be against the PC police rules, can get you suspended for 30 days or more. We have a serious problem. If I were not such an intentionally antagonistic person, if I were not such a truth troll, I might think, well, they suspended me for using the word tranny, and I never thought that would be a bad word, but I guess it is. What else should I not say? You know, so this would have a chilling effect, or this does have a chilling effect. It basically makes people afraid to even go anywhere near what they may deem to be the edges of what is acceptable speech. Think about this. We're having this conversation about what's acceptable speech, what's the gray area. We shouldn't even have to have this conversation. But anyway, if you can get suspended for 30 days for using a word like tranny, can you get suspended for using the word like gay? And what if you're, say, a gay person who likes to use the word queer? What if you identify as queer and you use the word queer? Is somebody going to report that? Is somebody on Facebook going to go, oh, well, that's a bad word. Queer is a bad word. And then are you going to get suspended? So you could be the most PC person on earth because, you know, it's okay to use certain words if you identify as a certain kind of person. It's totally politically correct to use certain words, okay? Depending on your skin color, it's totally okay for you to, you know, use the N-word or to use the word queer. Alright, I don't want to stray too far. My point here is that this has a chilling effect. If you can get suspended for words that you never thought would be bad, then all of a sudden you start thinking about things and you censor yourself even before anybody else can. And it should be obvious that once people start censoring themselves, that we're going down the path of, like, let's say certain dystopian novels, for example. There you go, blatant censorship, blatant hypocrisy, double standards. Now, if you care, to make a long story short, before I was suspended, I argue with this person here. It's all there on the screen. I did not leave out a single comment that I made to this person. Not one. So you could pause, you could read if you want to, but basically we argued and I tried to explain to her that she's wrong. She made a couple of racist comments towards me. She assumed my gender. She broke some PC rules, all the time complaining that I was actually being bigoted, transphobic, etc. based on nothing. Again, I left nothing out. If you don't believe me, just pause the screen and read it all if you really want to. So after a while, I challenged this person to do a video chat with me for YouTube because I figured that would be really entertaining, but she wouldn't, and I think we all know why. Now, it's one thing to hide behind a keyboard and to be this ignorant, but when you're on camera, you're more aware of how ignorant you are and how you are embarrassing yourself. Sometimes you get somebody like a Nick Ryan or that Antifa guy where they're not smart enough to realize how stupid they are, and it makes an entertaining video. I tried to do that with this person, but she wouldn't do it, so then I ignored her. So then she started sending me voice messages, which I ignored, and after a while, well, let's just check it out. I'll show you. Now, as you probably know, sometimes when you're having an online conversation, you're responding to something that the other person said a couple or more comments ago. It's easy to follow when you're the one doing it, but when someone else tries to read it after the fact, it's a little bit confusing and out of order. So I will read my comments aloud in the order in which they were meant, but of course you can see everything in chronological order on your screen. Now, before she sent me some messages in my inbox, I basically reiterated over and over again that, hey, look, if you want to get on a video chat with me and do this so that you can make an entertaining video and embarrass the living crap out of yourself, let's do this. Otherwise, I'm done with you. So she sent me 3 messages.
Hey, I'm still going to bed because it's almost 1 a.m., but I just wanted to let you know that you're definitely an ignorant bitch, and also you're a transphobic bitch, and also you're a racist white bitch. So, have fun with that. Good night. Kisses. Mwah.
In response to the first voice message, I wrote, laughing, "You literally called me racist while being racist. You have to be doing satire."
But also, hey, I realized that you needed an apology from me because you asked for it earlier, so I would like to offer you an apology, okay? So here it is. So my apology is as follows. You'd have to be a fucking idiot to expect me to tell you I'm sorry. Good night, motherfucker!
Now, the reason why she's mentioning an apology is because I find that with personality types like hers, it actually upsets them greatly when you point out when they've done something bad, something that is politically incorrect, and then demand an apology. They hate that, so that's why she's mentioning that stuff. Now, I'm pretty sure it's in response to the portion of my comment where I wrote, "You literally called me racist while being racist," that she responds with the following voice message.
Oh, you're right. I should rethink everything I just said, and I should reevaluate my life. Said nobody ever. Good night, cracker.
Notice the racism there again. Oh, it's so funny. I think it's funny when people are racist in a funny way. Like Cracker, I think that's funny. But, you know, let's face it. It is racist. And let's be fair. Racism is racism is racism. None of this racism equals racism plus power bullshit. Now, the next comment won't make very much sense unless you've read the thread. But I'm basically saying this to piss her off. I'm basically pointing out her, her major failure to actually read words that are actually written, okay? So we'll just skip over this because otherwise it won't make any sense to you. In response to her voice message where she sarcastically says, "Yeah, I should really rethink my entire life," I respond, "Yes, you should. You have zero evidence that I am racist, sexist, etc., but you are saying racist things. You have to be pretending to be that stupid. No one that stupid can actually operate a computer. Nice character there. Would you play this character on my YouTube channel? I'll play along, I promise. It will be fun and funny."
Actually, I have plenty of evidence that you're a racist motherfucker, and also that you're transphobic as well. Like, that's also a thing. But this is private message, so, like, I don't actually need to submit any of that. Like, I don't have to prove anything. I can also just let you know that you're an ignorant bitch. Like, that's also a thing, too. Grow some balls, by the way, before you post my picture again. You know, asking how I dress and shit. Why do you even worry about that? Like, you're a hoe man. Like, why do you even worry about what it is that I'm wearing? That was pretty cheap, was it not? You have to admit, that was, like, pretty fucking cheap, right?
Now, the reason why I posted her own pictures is to show that she is breaking her own PC protocol. You see, you can't culturally appropriate like that. And if you're, say, dressed in more than one culture, you're culturally appropriating one or the other. Now, of course, this is asinine. It's perfectly fine for somebody to dress entirely Western one day and then to dress like a Muslim the next day. Whatever. However, if you're gonna demand that other people play by certain rules, you're gonna play by those rules, okay? You moron. So then I write, okay, what is this evidence? She said that she had plenty of evidence, so where's this evidence?
I'd love to hear your voice, by the way. I feel like you probably sound just like I am. For some reason, I feel like your testosterone levels are low, and that your voice probably sounds like mine. So it'd be nice to put a voice with the face.
By the way, speaking about voices and whatnot, do you believe that this person's a trans person? Do you really believe that this is a male that happens to have a female voice? Like, sure, you're trans. Uh-huh. By the way, no guy could be that bitchy. Tabitha's laughing in the back. So I respond, want to hear my voice? Okay, let's do a video. See, again, it's just at a certain point I'm like, okay, either get on video or I'm done with you.
That's what I thought. Like, you like, dude, seriously, grow some balls. If you send me your address, I can mail you some. I can mail you some balls if you like.
By the way, when she's saying these things, notice that she is propagating cis-het normative gender stereotypes. Again, breaking their own PC rules.
Because I don't think you have any. So, like, I could mail you some balls. Just let me know, shawty. Let me know what's up. Send me your location, shawty.
Yeah, I'm not sending you my location. And what is this shoddy thing? Is that a Muslim thing or is that some sort of ghetto thing? What is that? Tabby's saying ghetto in the back. Well, whatever. So I write, okay, well, if you want to play this character in a video, cool. Until then, I'm too busy for you.
Oh, okay, sure. You're too busy for me. Okay. Alright, yeah. You're too busy for me. Okay. You're too busy for me. I mean, you've only spent like the last almost 7 hours arguing with me on Facebook, but okay, sure. You're too busy for me.
So I write, yep, if when you want to do this on video chat, let me know.
Hey dude, I think I found your dick. Hold on, I'll send a picture.
Yay, dick pics. Woo! So I write, yes, I had a lot of fun with you, but now, at this point in time, I'm too busy. Great character, though.
Hey dude, is this your dick? Let me know. I think I found it. Is this yours?
So now at this point, I'm just kind of bored. So I let her rant while I did stuff, and then the next morning I discovered that I was suspended from Facebook.
You know what I think, though? This sounds crazy, but hear me out, okay? Because, I mean, there are some crazy people out there in the world, so there are definitely, I mean, you know, crazy shit happens sometimes. I think that you actually, like, have a crush on me or something. I think you probably... I feel like you actually think I'm fine with like a PH, and that's why you keep messing with me in the group. Because, I mean, for sure I pissed you off in that conversation on my post, but then I commented on another totally unrelated post, and you were like, oh, hey, what's up? And then you like start arguing with me again. I think that you actually think I'm fine. That's my theory. And, I mean, also, of course, I mean, you know, of course I mean that, you know, if that's the case, then I can't fault you because surely, yes, you would be correct. I'm definitely fine. I'm, like, gorgeous. I'm gorgeous. But I think perhaps maybe you're obsessed with me in a way that is unhealthy. Like, I mean, I guess it wouldn't be unhealthy if you had approached me beforehand and you were like, hey, I think you're cute. Let's talk. Okay, then I would have, like, entertained that. But, like, instead, you do this thing that, like, little boys do in school where you, like, punch my arm and then you run away and you're like, oh, boys will be boys. I think that you actually have a crush on me. I think you think that I'm pretty. You think I'm gorgeous. But I'm sorry, I don't do white men, so I'm sorry. I know that hurts your feelings, but I don't do white men, so I feel as though you should move on from me and sort of get over this. Make a mixtape if you have to. Go cry by the river or something, but get over me. Get over me, son. Get over me, sir. I mean, make a mixtape, cry by the river, call a hotline, whatever it is that white people do, just get over it.
For your viewing pleasure, we plan to do a woman-splaining with Tabitha video in which Tabitha woman-splains this queer affair. So look forward to that, and pray for me, because, you know, sometimes it seems as if Tabitha is going to ignite into flames, becoming some sort of a fire elemental or a red copper dragon laying waste all about in an annihilating conflagration. Anyway, maybe she can make some sense of this bitch's behavior, so look forward to that. So there you go, folks. We can expect more stuff like this, more politically correct totalitarian censorship. We can expect it to get worse and worse. So again, I'm suspended from Facebook for at least 30 days, probably more, I'm not sure. So if you're trying to communicate with me on Facebook, I'm not ignoring you, I just can't answer. Also, I will no longer use my Twitter account, I refuse. Unless they give in to our free speech demands, but I don't think they'll ever do that. So I got into a second Twitter war with famous racist rapper Talib Kweli Green. He reported a bunch of my tweets. You can see them right there on the screen. Go ahead and read them if you want, but you can see that they're not bigoted, but somehow they're offensive. And Twitter demands that I delete all of these, otherwise I can't use Twitter. Well, I refuse. And I'll give you the full story about all this in some future video, but suffice to say, I'm not using Facebook for 30 days or more, and I will not use Twitter at all. Besides, we should all be using free speech alternatives to these malicious, megalomaniacal, malfeasant media monopolies. Alright folks, until next time, truth, honor, personal integrity, reason, responsibility, peace, love, freedom, equal opportunity, and individuality. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Okay.